So, g'day, comrade subscribers. Jeremy reckons let's push on. So we'll try out the TMS-RGB. So just to be clear, before we get too far into it, I'm not modifying an NTSC composite computer. It's a PAL component. So we've got the TMS9929A. So the NTSC composite has got a 9918A. So the 9928A is the NTSC version of this component video output. So this should be relatively easy, I think. To modify an NTSC composite requires a bit more work. First of all, you need to source probably a 9928A chip to put into here if you want, I guess, NTSC, whatever. And the pinout's slightly different because obviously this has got 3 video signals coming out, whereas the composite's only got a single video output. So that's a bit more complicated. This should be quite easy. So what I've done up to now is I've made up a cable to get the component video out, which works. We'll have a look here. I think it looks a bit washed out, and I think there's a little bit of fringing. So let's see how we go with the converting it to RGB. So far what I've done is I've got a zero ohm resistor in here, so basically a link, just so that I could ground that pin. So there was a resistor and capacitor. I've removed them both, and then I've just got that link there. So the plan is to mount the TMS-RGB board here, like so, and then we'll cut the current connections over here, and then just run wires from here to there, and then make up a cable. So the pinout, the planned pinout, is going to be this one here. So we will be changing pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, and pin 4. So pin 5 is currently audio, so that'll remain as audio, and pin 6 is ground, so I'll keep that as ground. So pin 1 will have the red, pin 2 will have green, pin 3 will be blue, and then pin 4 will be the composite sync. And then if we have a look at the actual socket, that's what it's going to look like. So I think hopefully it should be pretty easy. So what did I say I wanted to do? So 1, 2, 3, 4 I need to change. So 1's pretty easy. I just disconnect that link there, and then that'll be isolated. Pin 2 is connected to this resistor here, and then runs over here to this resistor here, which then runs over to here, all the way back to the VDP. So probably, because you want to make it probably revertible, I guess, as well, maybe. So I reckon maybe I'll just do a cut. I'll just do a cut there, I guess. Pin 3. Pin 3 and pin 4, so they come over to here, and on the board side we've got these 2 links, so they should be pretty simple as well. It should just be a case of removing these links, and then they're isolated, and then I can just run the wire to there. Pin 5 audio, don't need to touch. Pin 6 ground, don't need to touch. So it should be relatively simple. So here's the board. I can't really see, to be honest. You can probably see it better than I can, but I think I had a look at I'll put it there. 5 volts, red, green, blue, sync, ground. I think, yeah, so I don't need to do much really. Probably wire it up first before I put it on. Pin 1 is up here, so that's where that goes. And then obviously we've got the we've got luma, we've got ground, we've got 5 volts. Yeah. Right, wiring. Let's get started. Okay, so I actually haven't removed too much. So I've already removed those yesterday, capacitor and resistor, I think. I removed a resistor up there, and I've removed these 2 linking wires, and that was it actually, because there was nothing there. So I didn't have to remove that, I've just sucked the solder out. So pretty simple. 1, 2, 3. 3 components removed and 2 wires. And I've got the board on. So I just added a bit more tin, more solder to the pins that needed to be done. And then I just basically soldered it on, and I think it's on there well and truly good. Maybe I didn't do it too well. But there's a good bond between the pad on here and the actual pin. So now it should actually be pretty simple. I did actually have color-coded wires I was going to use, but I'll just use this single strand copper. Will be easier to solder. I don't have to tin it, and then I just run it over here. So again, all I need to do is RGB and sync. Ground and sound already done. So it should just be 3 wires on here or 4 wires on here that I need to do. Done, I think. RGBS all connected up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've already got sound and ground. So I just need to make up a cable now. So I've got well, I don't have them here, I have to go grab them. Okay, let's make the cable. Can't really be bothered, to be honest, but do my best. So I've got this is an RGBS cable. I buy these in bulk from AliExpress. Let me just grab the... I need to show you what I'm going to do actually. So the GBS 8200, these cables just plug straight into there. So nice and simple. Plug that. So yeah, so I buy these in bulk from AliExpress. For the audio, we've got a 3.5mm stereo socket. Got a 6-pin DIN, and we've got some plastic cable braid. So I didn't buy any cheapo DINs, so I'm going to try this one again. So I could make it without the braid, but the problem is all this cable gets all spaghetti. So one other thing I do is just like put a bit of glued heat shrink here, then there, then there, then there, then there, sort of thing. But using the braid makes it look a lot more professional. It's just a bit more effort. So I need some glued heat shrink. Actually, I'm going to have to stock up again. I'm starting to get low. Little off cuts here and there. So I always use glued heat shrink. That should be enough for there. And some small ones for the DIN. There we go. So what we want to do, I'll worry about that later, is put the glued heat shrink on one end. Okay. And then actually the best way I find is to just tape all these up together. In case you've never seen someone glue some wires together. Just kind of into a point, just makes it going through the plastic braid a little easier. So we've got glued heat shrink on one end, So that'll come down to this end, and then we've got a good seal there. Okay, let's get this on. Okay, got one end done. So just squeeze the glue out and shape it so that when it cools down and hardens, it's nice and flat. Now we've got to get the rest of the cable. Where's the end? The end is there. I'll just cut off, I'll cut off a bit extra than what I actually need. And actually this can get a bit frayed, so sometimes I just use a match just to melt it all. But what we want to do now is actually, probably doesn't need to be that long. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what we need to do is get the end, we'll get this over the end of it, really. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Fascinating stuff. Twist it, there we go. Oh, don't forget our audio. Need to get that in there as well. Just on the outside of the braid, that's fine. I'll try this again. Start it up the top there, there we go. Maybe like that. We'll tape it together. Starting to break up a bit, so twist, twist, twist. Yeah, I might actually burn it a little bit. Yeah, oh, look, let me do this. I can't do it while recording. I think that will be the way to do it. I think. Maybe. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get this brand again, but I couldn't get the normal brand I get for the 5 pins. I couldn't get that in a 6 pin. They're much easier to do. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to do. I'm having a lot of issues getting this on, so what I've ended up doing, I've got some more glued heat shrink there, and this just refuses to go down very fast, so I'm just going to drop it again and just stick it on like this, I think. And then it should be quite easy just to solder those and plug her in and see what we get. So as always, I just use a bit of flux just to make it easier to solder these pins. No, I do not enjoy making these cables. Well, they're easy to make, but if you want to make them kind of look semi-professional, then I don't know. Maybe the way I'm doing it's too difficult. Okay, almost done. Use this because that pretty much matches the solder side of the male, so it's exactly the same orientation. Okay, I think we're done. RGBS plus stereo audio, well, even though it's on mono source. I did not enjoy that at all. So, put this on here. Let's see if I can seal it up and make it look decent. Get in there. Alright. I'll try to tidy this up and see what we've ended up with. Just wasn't enough heat shrink, so that's really going to irritate me now. Yeah, I definitely do not like these. They're probably okay for the Amstrad, because in the Amstrad we don't have this additional speaker coming out. But for anything else, yeah. Anyway, right. Well, moment of truth is to see what it actually does now. If it actually works. If it does, then you might see this tonight. If it doesn't work, then I'll probably go onto some other computer. Okay, so I did some test video. I don't know if I've shown it already, but my capture setup. So I'm using the GBS A200. So that's got component in as well as RGBS in. So I've done a sample of the component in. Now I'm going to do the RGBS in. So normally I would just then connect it. I'll just connect it straight to the screen via the VGA. But because I'm capturing it, I've now got a VGA to HDMI converter. And then I've got plugged into the computer a HDMI to USB, which works quite well actually. Better than, I tried getting an Elgato proper one and it was a real pain in the ass. This one just works, and on the Mac, because I'm using Mac, I just use QuickTime. QuickTime captures new video. Just a new video recording, and it turns up as a USB device. So yeah, so that's what I'm working. So I've already captured the component. Let's try the RGB. Plug that into there. Put that out of the way. Won't worry about sound for now. I need to put it all into the case. Okay. Power supply. Yes, Mum. Oh, hey, bud. Dinner's ready, is it, mate? Okay. I'll be up in momentarily. Thanks, mate. Right, I'll just do a quick test. I'll go grab some dinner. So start recording there. Power on. Something happened. Hey, there we go. It's definitely darker. There's the fringing still, I guess. I think that looks better. I think that looks, yeah, I think it looks better. Maybe. All right, well, next step is to have dinner that my son's made, and then put this back into a case. I'm thinking I'm going to put this into a black and silver case rather than a beige case. Let me stop recording. Yeah, I think black and silver 994A is the more traditional one, I think. So that's what I'll do. I'll stick it in the one that's not working. Okay, power off and dinner time. So I just wanted to do the RGB change, but if I'm going to swap cases and everything, I might as well do the whole thing. So I've got the power supply out. It's got a 7905 and a 7812 linear regulators. They generate quite a bit of heat. So I might, while I've got it out, swap them. PSU2. I have one negative 5 volt 7905 replacement Traco, so that'll go there. And then the 12 volt, I'm not getting 5 volt for, so 12 volt. PSU312, I think that's a 12 volt. 1 amp, I think that's enough. 12 volt 1 amp. Got these as well. Yep, alright, so replace the regulators first up. And LED as well. Let's put a blue power LED on, eh? Right, I've got the negative 5 volt regulator in, so I just had to make sure, because this is towards the front and it slopes a little bit, but there is plenty of space there, so I don't need to worry about that. Now for the 12 volt I've got two types. So I've got this one, I can't remember where I got this one from. You can see it's got components on front and back, whereas these ones from EZSBC or EZSBC.com, nothing on the back, which makes a big difference. In this case here, I've got to fit it in there. So if I try and stick this one in, it's not going to go in. Well, it's going to go in, but it's right up against the capacitor. So I'll try this one here. You can get them, although I haven't had much luck lately. I keep asking him to send them to me without the headers soldered in. These ones that he sent me a while ago don't. But the reason why I prefer to get the headers without the headers is because you can either mount it like that, or you know, wherever. So if you've got straight through pins, then you can mount it horizontally. Whereas if you've got right angle pins, then you know you can only mount it vertically. So if we do it like that, you can see we've got a nice flat back that no issues at all. Alright, so I get the power supply done, and then hopefully get the computer all back together pretty quickly. Alright, there we go. So switching regulators are in. Last thing to do is just to change the LED. Put a nice blue one in, eh? Okay, let's see if it works. Well, okay, well we got we've got 5 volts for the LED at least. Yeah, I guess we could check the outputs there. But yeah, okay, getting there. I better start putting some computers back together. I've got 994As all over the place. But yeah, it's a neat little keyboard, isn't it? So this is another Mitsumi, but it's just the it's got a different font. I quite like this one. Yeah, so I'm swapping this one over because this silver's a bit scratched. I realised after I said I'm going to go to not take it out of the beige, I realised, oh yeah, the silver can get quite scratched. So I'm going to use this one because this one's not so scratched. But I like this key. I like this key font. I think a little bit different. Both Mitsumi. But it's a neat little keyboard, isn't it? It's yeah, quite compact. So it's probably, you know, if you've got other projects like single board computers and stuff, buy a couple of these cheap, and then just get them for the keyboards. Yeah, anyway, going on and on and on. So I'm keeping this case. I want this keyboard. Yeah, getting there. Decided I'm not going to put it all back together because I want to clean the case. I don't want to put it all back together and have to take it apart again. So I've got keyboard connected. I've got my final GROM power. I've got 32K RAM expansion. And I've got my RGB to VGA to HDMI converter. See if we can capture audio this time as well. Alright, start recording. Power on. Okay. Right. I have increased the brightness, I think. So hopefully it's brighter. Of course now we've got to fiddle around with getting the the final GROM to work. Power off. Power on. Okay, got it working. Right. 2. Now I'm not sure what's on here. I don't know. Oh, Burgertime. Burgertime. Let's try Burgertime. Press any key. Where's the any key? Does it require joystick? I moved. Oh, I did the salt. D. Okay. P's pause. And I'll go up. Read the... Okay. P's pause. So stop pressing it, Brett. M's this on there, is it? Alright. That looks good. I like Burgertime. Okay. I'll have to find out the keys. Okay. Where? I forgot it does that. I have to read the instructions to see. There we go. Okay. I saw Pyjamarama on here as well. Car Wars. I think it was on screen 5. Pyjamarama. So Pyjamarama requires a 32K. Cool. Erasmus. Okay, so OP, fire. I just jump this fire to keyboard. Okay. Oh yeah. I might have to check my keyboard. O's not really working. Okay. I'm not sure if that's because of the game or because the key. All right, I don't know how to play Pyjamarama, by the way. Oop. Okay. Anyway, not bad. It's not a bad computer, is it? All right. So, what do you think of the RGB? Is there anything I can do to improve it? Let's see. But yeah, so I'm going to give the case a good clean, and I'll assemble it all back together. That's getting quite warm. So I think this is the sound chip, the 9901. The main CPU is warm, but yeah, that's getting quite hot. So I might add a couple more heat sinks as well while I've got it out. Actually, let's the RAM's. I think this is RAM. Actually, might as well check the temperature. There we go. Actually, stop recording that. And let's check the temperature. So start recording. Record video, yes. Well, let me just synchronize the video. Okay, so that's the VDP. I think that's the sound chip, TMS9901. There we've got a very, very warm resistor. Then we've got some logic chips. That's the TMS9900 CPU. I think we've got some, I think this is RAM over here, but I'll check what it is. And then we've got a little heat spike there. Can't really see underneath the it looks warm, but and then we've got the power supply over here, so you can see the transistor. But yeah, hardly anything coming out of the 12 volt regulator. or the -5 volt regulator. Then we've got the rectifying diodes there. Okay. That is warm. Okie dokie. Bye for now.